Hello, my name is Abby French, and I will be going over social disorganization theory. So what exactly is social disorganization theory? So this is basically when a community's limitations and social resources and capacity to meet those needs of those residents leads to increased rates of criminality and violence. So that just basically means the physical and social environments are primarily responsible for the behavior choices of that person. So to sum it up, they're a product of their environment. So what causes this disorganization within a community? So that can be caused by limited economic resources, limited ethnic diversity, high residential mobility, limited sense of collectivism, and environmental factors. So how can we connect community disorganization to criminalization? And for that, I'm going to pull out, Old Reliable and use Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So if we go back and let's pick one of our disorganizations, let's say limited economic resources, we can choose healthcare, for example. Healthcare would fall under safety and needs, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs states that if something's not being met, then that person's going to go through mental unrest. They can't advance to higher stages within the hierarchy. So, they're not going to get that belongingness, esteem, and self-actualization. And they're not going to ascend to this hierarchy of needs. So that just means that they're going to resort back to criminalization and take part in those acts. So if we can go down a level and say, like, what if that community doesn't have, that safe drinking water, or maybe they're not getting a sufficient amount of food. So definitely I'm going to use Maslow's hierarchy of needs to explain and make that connection. So what shapes these Black neighborhoods and these communities? So through structural racism, housing and transportation policies have been negatively affecting Black communities for years. The decreased enforcement of the Fair Housing Act has definitely also contributed to shaping neighborhoods. Redlining, which is the denial of services to residents of certain neighborhoods or communities based on their race and ethnicity. And also gentrification, which is the increase in rent and property values and changes in the district's character and culture due to the arrival of wealthier people. So how does this affect the Black community? To name a few things that are affected by the quality of the community. So limited institutional resources, so the quality of learning at school district might not have the best teachers or have enough money to get those high quality teachers. Social and recreational activities, so they're not going to have many of those. So medical facilities, they're not going to have the resources to properly take care of the people within that community, and lower economic opportunities. This also has an effect on relationships within the home. So it can affect mental health, irritability, coping skills, and physical health. When you live in a hostile environment, all of these can change. It changes who you are. And the ability to parent. Do you have time for your child? Are you worried about other things happening around you? And parental behaviors. How you're going to raise that child might be different, whether you're in a good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood. And then structure of the home environment. So definitely going to be a difference there, just because of your environment shapes everything around you and how you're going to act as a parent and even as a child. And that's my presentation on disorganization theory. Thank you so much for listening.